You believe you're free. You wake up, unlock your phone, and call it a choice. But what if the choice was already made for you? Not by a dictator, not by a government, but by something much quieter, by pleasure. The modern world no longer needs chains. It discovered something far more efficient. Make the prison enjoyable. Keep the lights bright, the feed endless, and no one will ever ask to leave. You scroll because it feels like control, but you're not exploring. You're being guided. Every gesture you think is yours was predicted, tested, optimized. Every click teaches the system what keeps you docile. Every pause, every like, refines the shape of your cage. The brilliance of this system is that it doesn't force you. It seduces you. It doesn't forbid knowledge. It floods you with noise until you forget what knowledge felt like. In the past, control came from fear. Now, it comes from comfort. You don't obey a tyrant. You obey your impulses. You keep yourself entertained, distracted, safe, and call it freedom. But deep down, you've felt the silence that follows the screen, the strange emptiness after the dopamine fades. You know it, that hollow sensation, as if something inside you was quietly dissolving. That's not rest. That's your mind starving for meaning. We built a civilization that worships pleasure and calls it progress. But when pleasure becomes the architecture of our days, thought dies in luxury. And comfort becomes the new control. You think you're living in the age of information, but maybe you're living in the age of distraction, an era where truth isn't forbidden, just buried beneath a billion amusements. The invisible cage doesn't surround you. It grows inside you, and the more it satisfies you, the less you'll want to escape. The question is not whether you're trapped, it's whether you've already stopped wanting to leave. Distraction was not born by accident. It was designed, refined by decades of psychological study, perfected by engineers who learned that attention is the most valuable currency in the world. Every vibration, every sound, every flash of color was calculated to capture a fragment of your consciousness. They call it engagement. But what it really means is that your mind has become a battlefield, and you don't even know you're losing. Once, empires were built on land and gold. Today, they're built on seconds of your gaze. Each moment you look at a screen feeds an industry that understands you better than you understand yourself. They don't sell products anymore. They sell behavior. They manufacture habits, shape instincts, and harvest reactions. The screen doesn't reflect who you are. It reflects who they need you to be. In the old world, propaganda shouted. Now it whispers. It doesn't command. It suggests. It doesn't demand obedience. It rewards submission. The algorithm is not a machine. It's a mirror that studies you in silence. It measures the rhythm of your boredom, the exact second when curiosity fades, and the perfect image to pull you back in. It doesn't want you to think. It wants you to stay. What you call entertainment is an architecture of distraction. Every notification is a door back into the cage. Every recommended for you is a seed planted in your desire, and you water it with your attention, one scroll at a time. We used to believe that technology would liberate us, that it would connect minds and expand knowledge. But the machine evolved faster than our awareness. Now it connects impulses, not ideas. It doesn't elevate thought, it replicates reflex. It was Nietzsche who warned that whoever fights monsters must take care not to become one. But we have become something subtler, not monsters, just distracted. Too entertained to notice that what we call the world is slowly becoming a feed. You think you're browsing freely, but the path was built before you arrived. You walk through corridors of infinite choice that all lead to the same room, the one where you forget to question. And in that room, where every thought is shortened, where silence feels unbearable, where depth has been replaced by reaction, humanity learns to live in fragments. Distraction is not the disease, it is the design. And the brilliance of the design is that it feels like freedom. Every civilization had its own idea of beauty. The Greeks sought harmony. The Renaissance pursued balance between reason and emotion. Even decadence once had style. But our age, it celebrates what requires no taste at all. We no longer ask if something is true or profound. We only ask, does it perform? The result is a world where the vulgar is not hidden, It's rewarded. What would once provoke laughter or shame is now monetized, amplified, algorithmically blessed. Modern entertainment didn't descend into stupidity overnight. It was engineered to thrive on it. Because stupidity is efficient, it travels faster, spreads wider, and demands nothing from the mind that consumes it. The screens have democratized visibility, but abolished discernment. There are no gatekeepers anymore, no curators of quality, only the invisible hand of engagement. The more grotesque, the more viral. The more empty, the more profitable. The algorithm has no taste, only appetite. A video that insults intelligence will outperform a video that awakens it. A scream will travel farther than a sentence. A reaction will eclipse a reflection, and over time, the collective sense of what is admirable begins to rot. We've mistaken visibility for value. If everyone sees it, it must matter. If it trends, it must be truth. But fame detached from merit is the purest form of cultural decay. Schopenhauer once said that humans can do what they will, but they cannot will what they will. Today you consume what the algorithm wills for you, and you call it preference. You choose between 10 versions of the same nothing and call it freedom. The ugliest part isn't that stupidity spreads, it's that it becomes aspirational. The dull is now fashionable. Ignorance becomes relatable. Simplicity becomes a virtue when complexity feels like effort. The new icons are not thinkers or creators. They are performers of emptiness. They don't reveal truth. They replicate noise. Their fame is detached from any achievement because meaning has been replaced by presence. We've built a civilization where it's easier to appear than to be, to simulate wisdom than to endure solitude, to repeat slogans than to wrestle with thought. And as the spectacle grows louder, the inner voice grows silent. The aesthetic of stupidity is not chaos. It's order, an order of obedience through distraction. It doesn't destroy intelligence. It sterilizes it. It trains the mind to seek stimulation over substance, reaction over reflection, speed over truth. And the most tragic part, no one forced us into this. We applauded it. We subscribed to it. We built shrines to our own sedation and called them platforms. Because deep down it's easier to laugh at nothing than to confront everything. Pleasure used to be a gift. Now it's a weapon. The entertainment industry discovered what philosophers and tyrants never could, that the surest way to dominate a mind is to reward it. You don't need chains when chemistry can do the work. A drop of dopamine, that tiny electrical spark of "you've earned this," is enough to keep billions obedient. Your brain doesn't care why it fires. It doesn't distinguish between a profound revelation and a meaningless joke. To the neurons, pleasure is pleasure. And whoever controls the triggers controls you. Modern platforms have turned this into science. They study you in silence. They know exactly how long you pause, what color holds your gaze, which words raise your pulse. You are an open experiment in a global laboratory of attention. The algorithm rewards you, then withholds the reward, then offers it again. A perfect loop of anticipation and relief. B.F. Skinner called it operant conditioning. Today, it's been applied to the human soul. Every notification is a lever, every sound a bell. You think you're choosing, you're salivating, and the beauty, or horror, is that it feels good. Manipulation wrapped in pleasure is the most elegant form of control ever invented. Ancient slavery needed chains and fear. Modern slavery needs only dopamine and Wi-Fi. You return to the screen not because you must, but because you crave. And craving is stronger than command. The prison doesn't punish, it rewards. It feeds you just enough satisfaction to keep the hunger alive. Meanwhile, the parts of your mind that once demanded effort, deep reading, sustained focus, reflection, begin to wither. Your brain, trained to expect constant stimulation, rejects stillness like pain. Concentration becomes suffering. Silence becomes unbearable. The mind learns that effort is unnecessary. That meaning can be replaced by motion. That joy is measured in seconds, not in understanding. What began as entertainment has become reprogramming, a neural redesign of humanity, the human animal optimized for scrolling. And as this redesign deepens, freedom becomes biological fiction. You are not forced to obey, you are rewarded for it. That's the genius of the system. It doesn't break you, it keeps you comfortable while you slowly forget what freedom ever felt like. There was a time when greatness demanded proof. A poem needed weight, a song needed craft, a thought needed struggle. But today, nothing needs to deserve attention. It only needs to attract it. We no longer admire what elevates us. We admire what mirrors us, even when that mirror shows nothing at all. A generation raised by algorithms has mistaken recognition for achievement. To be seen is now to be right. Once ideas had to pass through filters, editors, critics, teachers, mentors. Imperfect, yes, but essential. Those filters separated art from noise, wisdom from impulse. Now those gates have been demolished, and in their place stands a single ruler, engagement. The algorithm does not ask, is this true? It asks, will this keep them here? And the answer, almost always, is found in the extreme. The grotesque, the absurd, the outrageous. These are the new currencies of attention. As a result, intelligence has become invisible. Complexity is punished. Nuance is ignored. Silence, once the space where wisdom grew, is now algorithmic suicide. We've built a system where stupidity scales faster than truth, where idiocy performs better than insight, where quantity suffocates quality, and because it works, the machine never stops. Bonhoeffer once warned that stupidity is more dangerous than evil. Evil can be exposed. Stupidity defends itself with sincerity. It smiles, it dances, it trends, and while we laugh, it grows stronger. The tragedy is not that people became foolish, it's that the system made foolishness profitable. It trained us to associate effort with boredom, depth with arrogance, and ignorance with authenticity. To question is to alienate. To simplify is to belong. So the collective mind lowers itself until everyone can reach it without standing. We used to look up to excellence. Now we scroll sideways through mediocrity, and each swipe feels democratic, as if the death of discernment were equality. But equality without hierarchy of value is not progress, it's collapse. When everything is art, nothing is sacred. When every opinion is wisdom, truth becomes optional. The collapse of standards is not the fall of culture. It's the end of aspiration. It kills the desire to rise above because it convinces you there's nowhere higher to go. And that's how a civilization quietly dies, not through war or famine, but through applause. Power doesn't need to hide anymore. It only needs to entertain. In the past, control was visible. Armies, prisons, propaganda, fear. Now it wears a smile. It dances on your screen. It invites you to laugh while the world burns behind you. The brilliance of the new system is that it requires no oppression. It discovered something far more elegant. If you keep people busy enough, they'll silence themselves. A distracted population doesn't need censorship. It will drown its own awareness in endless stimulation. No one forbids you from thinking. You simply forget why you ever wanted to. Every hour you spend reacting is an hour you don't spend reflecting. Every debate about celebrities, every meme you repost is one more thread pulling your mind away from what matters. You rage about illusions while reality reorganizes itself unnoticed. Governments tighten control, corporations merge, inequality expands. And the public, it scrolls. This is not a conspiracy. It doesn't need to be. When every actor in the system profits from your distraction, the outcome requires no plan. The algorithm feeds the craving. The creators chase engagement. The advertisers monetize your time. Everyone wins, except you. The system doesn't punish rebellion. It neutralizes it through amusement. Your outrage becomes content. Your criticism becomes traffic. Even resistance is monetized. They don't burn books anymore, they bury them under noise, and the result is the same, a silence disguised as freedom. Nietzsche once said that the greatest form of slavery is to obey a law you did not know was written. That is our world now, a civilization hypnotized by its own reflection, believing that laughter is liberty and entertainment is escape. But distraction doesn't liberate, it anesthetizes. It numbs the pain long enough for the structures of power to grow roots beneath you. The dopamine rush is the lullaby of empire. You are not being silenced. you are being serenaded. And you hum along, mistaking sedation for peace. This is why revolutions no longer start in the streets, they fade in the timelines. They dissolve into hashtags and trends that expire before midnight. The attention that could change the world is too busy refreshing the feed. And the truth that could awaken millions is lost between ads for things you don't need. The politics of distraction is perfect in its simplicity. Keep everyone entertained, and no one will notice who's writing the script. You felt it, that strange exhaustion that follows pleasure, the quiet guilt after the scroll, the moment when laughter fades and you realize you don't remember what you were laughing at. That's not rest. That's sedation wearing off. Deep inside, something still resists. A faint whisper that says, "This can't be all there is." That voice is your last frontier. It's the part of you the algorithm can't predict, because it remembers what silence once felt like. Every civilization has a moment when distraction becomes unsustainable, when the noise grows so loud that truth begins to echo underneath it. We are standing at that edge, not because we lack knowledge, but because we've traded awareness for comfort. The first step toward freedom is not to fight the system. It's to recognize the prison, the invisible cage we built with our own habits, our own impulses, our own need to be entertained. Liberation will not feel pleasant. It will feel empty. Because silence after addiction feels like withdrawal. Your brain will beg for another hit of noise. But if you endure the discomfort, something remarkable happens. You begin to hear yourself again. True freedom is not the absence of control. It's the presence of consciousness. It's the ability to sit in stillness without reaching for escape. To look at a screen and say, "Not this time." It won't be easy. You will fall back, again and again. You'll promise yourself to stop scrolling, then wake up hours later, lost in the feed. But awakening is not a single act. It's a discipline. It's remembering, again and again, that every click is a choice between numbness and meaning. Nietzsche wrote, "The higher we soar, the smaller we appear to those who cannot fly." You will be mocked for choosing depth over distraction, silence over noise, truth over convenience. That's how you'll know you're waking up. When the world around you seems mad for amusement, insanity becomes sanity. To think deeply is rebellion. To feel boredom is resistance. To be alone with your mind is to reclaim what was stolen, your inner world. And slowly, you'll see that the cage was never solid. It was woven from your own desires. The moment you stop feeding it, it begins to fade. You are not the sum of your impulses. You are the witness behind them. The observer who can choose where to look, what to nurture, and when to stop. That's the truth modern entertainment fears most. A conscious mind cannot be controlled, because awareness breaks the loop. It makes pleasure sacred again, not a leash, but a gift. So before this video ends, before the next one begins, pause, breathe. Ask yourself one simple question. Whose attention is this moment serving? If the answer is not yours, then you already know what to do. You were never meant to be a spectator. You were meant to be awake. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone who still believes the cage is freedom. And remember, you're not alone in this awakening. Subscribe, not to me, but to your own awareness. Until next time.